Find out why a billionaire investor thinks the government should pay an employee back-to-work bonus stimulus check. Which state is using $7.2 billion for their unemployment insurance fund? And the great news, from one state that could see expanded eligibility for unemployment benefits to nearly 600,000 workers. Billionaire investor Barry Steinlich made some very intriguing comments recently regarding the government paying all working U.S. employees a back-to-work bonus after collecting unemployment benefits over the last 20 months. It's an interesting idea. Kind of like the idea. Starwood Capital CEO stated, quote, "They should actually pay people a bonus for going back to work and getting back into the labor force off federal programs and state programs," end quote. It's another way to spend the money that's sitting there, folks. This is not new money, this is old money. So they got it. He continued, quote, "The government should pay people bonuses to return to work. It can then get the money back through taxing people who are, newly employed. So they would just come back. It's all a circle anyway, folks. It just goes around. You work, you pay in, and then they give you back some of it. So according to a recent report, American workers say that they are putting off applying for a job due to holding out for a better pay, job benefits, and improving working conditions for employees with rising cases of the Delta variant virus just kicking us where it hurts, right? I'm all for a nationwide back-to-work bonus stimulus check program. I think it'll help stimulate the economy. I think it'll get people motivated to go back to work. And besides, I think you deserve it. After employees across America going through everything, I think you deserve an extra direct payment unemployment boost. I mean, the subsidies that come in for billionaires are a lot, right? They get billions of dollars in crony capitalism. We have to fight for $500. Meanwhile, the great state of Texas recently announced a new plan to funnel $7.2 billion to the Lone Star State Unemployment Insurance Fund. State Representative Ron Reynolds explains, quote, I guess that's the guy that's into R&R. Yeah, I wonder if he goes shooting. He is in Texas. "We need to make sure that we do keep the Texas Workforce Commission adequately staffed, because the initial problem that we had was that many people aren't able to get through the Workforce Commission," end quote. He continued, quote, "Texas has a bottom base of minimum wage of $7.25, where most states and many companies have raised it to $15 an hour. It's like double. So there were a lot of people that were at the flat line that were making more staying at home, right? Because it didn't come close to the $7 number. And people were complaining about the workforce shortage because they made more on unemployment benefits than they would make at a job. The TWC stated, quote, "We're looking at all the lessons learned. We haven't shut down the call center, the extra contractors, we still have them in place, and we're going to continue access the necessity at that. It's at least what's necessary to get people back to work is pick up the phone, answer it, get them their back pay, help them out, handle the fraud and scams, everything else that is happening. So I'm glad the access will still be there." What do you think about Texas or your own state unemployment system over the past 20 months of craziness? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And finally, what you've been waiting for, this is awesome. In the great state of Ohio, a recent report shows that the U.S. Senate bill could expand eligibility for unemployment benefits to nearly 600,000 Ohio workers. The Unemployment Insurance Improvement Act, yes, we need that, would lower the threshold for how much workers must be paid in order to qualify for unemployment benefits if they lose their job. To qualify for unemployment under the bill, workers would need to pay at least $1,500 a year and $1,000 in at least one quarter, compared with the minimum in Ohio, which is $5,600 in a year. So if you're just starting out and lose your job, you're like, man, maybe I shouldn't have taken a job. Michael Shields, researcher for the Policy Matters Ohio, stated, quote, a lot of folks end up getting left out of the coverage. That actually does include a lot of people who are very highly attached to the workforce, end quote. He also continued, quote, the typical person who would be newly covered by this measure worked 37 weeks in 2019 and worked a median of 26 weeks per year, end quote. This sounds like great news for all my viewers in the Buckeye State. Congratulations. I hope the unemployment support does the same in your neck of the woods, and they offer it because it should. We need improvement. We need to make sure we cover the gaps, and systems create where disincentives for people. So we need to get everything aligned to get people in a prosperous state going forward. If you still haven't applied for unemployment assistance, there's still time. There's going to be state benefits. There always have been since the 30s. So make sure if you're out of work now, they're not gone. The misnomer is that you can't. They're still there. The federal government just added a lift of $300 or $600 to help people. So the state benefits have been there, and the trusts they can still borrow money from the federal government when they're low. In most states, you can still claim your unemployment benefit, that baseline UI. Go to the website, upload your employment history, lack thereof, obviously, which is why that bill is coming through. Use the ID Me if you're in one of those states, the 26. Fill out the application as generally as possible and to the best of your ability. For being honest and truthful and just answering those questions, you could be provided with a backdated check for thousands of dollars. You can still go claim stuff that you missed, especially if you used your savings, so make sure you do that. The PUA currently we're still having problems. They are not dispersing the relief to unemployed workers that are in that category. Hopefully our lawmakers can find the support to help gig workers, self-employed independent contractors, 1099 workers, and people who are side hustlers or got freelance. I mean, we're talking to a lot of people don't realize it, but Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, FedEx, Amazon drivers, many of them independent contractors, they fall through this gap, which is why we need an improvement of the UI system, unemployment system. It has its good and its bad. Please keep sharing your experience with the UI and unemployment benefits in your state. It enters you to win $2,000. It also keeps us up to date. The community is the best. It's the only place to be. Thank you for watching.